Hey, welcome to our new Juju Live session on the theme, fascinating theme, I may add, men in Egyptian dance, male Oriental dancers, or as people like to call them, male belly dancers, male Oriental dance teachers and choreographers. What's about them? This is the theme for this Juju Live session. I'm going to answer a few questions I have selected from so many questions I have received along the way in this more than 20 years of career in the field of Egyptian, Oriental, and folkloric dance. There are so many more questions that will remain unanswered. But then again, I will invite you to share your questions if you happen to be live with me right now throughout this session. Share your questions with me, share your opinions with me, what you think about Egyptian male dancers, Western male dancers in the field of Egyptian dance. Do you like them? You don't like them? Is there a particular male teacher or dancer or choreographer that you really love? This is not about speaking badly of men or speaking fondly of women. This is about answering, according to my knowledge and perspective, about one of the things that is perhaps the most polemic right now in our field, in the business and in the art of Egyptian dance. Men in this dance form. What do we think about it? Okay. So for the ones who don't know me yet, I am Joana Saahirah, that you should know by now. I'm a world-renowned Oriental dancer, teacher, choreographer, author, and I'm also the creator of the pioneering Joana Saahirah's World and Joana Saahirah's Online Dance School, delivering authentic Egyptian dance, personal discovery, and empowerment. For the ones who want to join our community, Joana Saahirah's World community, and be the first to receive our gifts and offers and special promotions and inspirations I only share with my people, check our newsletter and subscribe to it. It is free, it is fabulous, and when you subscribe, you get instant access to our free learning page and the free ebook, Welcome to Egyptian Dance Wonderland, that you are going to love. At the end of this session, I'm going to share the link for you to subscribe to our newsletter, if you wish to do so, in the comments to this video, or if you're gonna watch this in my YouTube channel, in the description box below the video. And without further ado, let's dive into the first question that I have selected for you. Can men practice Egyptian dance? And this is gonna be a short one. All right, I've been asked this so many times. Can men do Egyptian dance? I mean, really? And the answer is absolutely. Oh yeah. I know that a lot of female Oriental dancers, some of them my colleagues, don't like me to say this. Because then again, guys, remember this is an art form, but this is also a business and there are interests at hand, right? But I try my best to be honest, straightforward, and fair. So even if something is not gonna be marketing smart for me, I'm gonna say it if I believe it, okay? So I do believe, and I know for a fact, that men can practice Egyptian dance as well as women, like women. In Egypt, you will see men dancing Oriental dance, Raqs al-Sharqi, what people erroneously call belly dance, everywhere, perhaps even more than women do. So this idea that Egyptian dance is only for women has some basis, historical basis and genetic basis, and a lot of things that actually make sense justify this, okay? Let's put it this way. But in reality, in Egypt, concretely, Egyptian dance is practiced by everybody, men and women alike, young children, old people, everybody. It is a very democratic dance. So this idea that only women do Egyptian dance is a big mistake. Okay, it's just not true, especially in Egypt, the birthplace of the dance. All right. Now, what else? What else? Do men have the sensibility, the magic wand required for Egyptian dance? Now, this is a tricky question, okay? Let me take a sip of my coffee to answer this one. This one is tricky. And this one is more of my opinion and not so much of a fact. So when you ask me if men practice Egyptian dance, my answer is yes, because that's a fact. Okay, we have men practicing it as amateurs and professionals in Egypt and all over the world. So this is not my opinion. It is not your opinion. It is a fact. Like it or not, that's another question. Okay, many dancers don't like that men do Egyptian dance, but that doesn't change reality. Men practice Egyptian dance just like women, okay? In an amateur way and in a professional way. But the answer to the second question is not a fact. It's my opinion. It's my personal opinion, okay? So do men have the sensibility and the magic swamp required for Egyptian dance? Some of them do. Isn't that strange? And most of them don't. Okay, let's see if I can organize the information and make myself understood. And I have a big cleavage today. Sorry, guys, I'm distracted by it. And maybe you are too. One thing is the technical side of Egyptian dance, right? The execution of the movements, the postures, the steps, it's the physicality of the dance. And I believe that the physicality of the dance can be mastered by everyone, men and women alike, okay? Something else is the sensibility, the heart, the soul, the feeling, the energy required for authentic Egyptian dance. An energy that is a womb-like energy. It is a feminine energy. I do not believe every man has it. And I know for a fact, not every man has it, and not every Oriental male teacher or dancer or choreographer have it. In fact, most of them don't even know what the hell this means. Does that mean that no man has this energy, this womb-like, feminine, deep, dark, goddess, magical energy? I have met male Oriental dancers who actually do have it. They are men, but they have their feminine polarity so well developed, so well integrated, that they are able to bring it out of their system, even if anatomically they do not have a womb. And this is a fact, because I have seen it. So my opinion is that although, technically speaking, everyone can learn and eventually practice Egyptian dance in an amateur and in a professional universe, men and women alike, there is a certain sensibility, there is an energy, an inner posture, there is a feeling, an emotion, a womb-like, uterine, magical frequency that is so deeply connected with the feminine polarity. And notice that I'm talking about polarities. I'm not talking about men and women. Men and women carry feminine and masculine polarities within, right? So I'm a woman. That's the gender I identify myself with. I carry masculine and feminine polarities within me, just like everybody else, just like everything else in nature, okay? So when I talk about polarities, masculine and feminine, I'm not talking about men and women. I'm talking about dynamics, energetic principles that are active in everything that lives on planet Earth. All right. So some male Oriental dancers, some of them I have met, amateur and professional, they do have this womb-like magic. And most of them, they don't have it, and they have no bloody idea of what this even mean. Okay. Examples of dancers who do have it. Dancers that I have met personally. Here we go. And forgive me, guys, if I'm not mentioning your favorite dancer, or, because I have my own preferences and I have my own professional and personal experiences. So I'm going to draw from my own personal perspective, okay? So the first male Oriental dancer that I met that actually had this womb-like magic was called Shokri Mohammed. Shokri Mohammed was from Nubia. He was my first teacher in Madrid, in Spain. He had a beautiful Oriental dance studio. It was like a little temple, called Las Pirámides, the pyramids in Madrid. I was there studying to be an actress, so I was in the Conservatoire for theater and cinema. I was not there for Egyptian dance, but I ended up studying with him. And he was the one who made me fall in love with Egyptian dance, and he was the first man that I saw doing Oriental dance in such a feminine and masculine way at the same time. So Shokri Mohammed, he was an example of a male Oriental dancer and teacher who had this womb-like magic, this feminine polarity so well integrated, so beautiful, so strong, so visible. And he made you feel what Egyptian dance was all about, independently of his gender. Okay, so that was the first man that I met that actually had this feminine polarity on the surface. It really showed, and it was beautiful, this sensibility. The other male Oriental dancer that comes to mind when I think about womb-like sensibility was not a professional dancer. He was my designer, the first designer who worked with me in Cairo when I signed my first contract in Egypt. His name was Aziz, and he became one of my best friends, a father figure, a confidant, my personal cook. He was from Syria. He had a beautiful wife, Layla, and beautiful children with whom I'm still in contact. And although he was not a professional Oriental dancer, he was very involved in the field of Egyptian dance, and he mentioned here and there that once upon a time he had been a dancer. I never believed him. And I was, making jokes and yeah, right, whatever. But one day he danced for me, right? I'm very lucky because a lot of people dance for me. I don't know why. People like to dance for me. I say, yeah, I'll watch you. It's okay. So bring it on. And I was shocked. Aziz was perhaps the best thing I've ever seen in terms of Oriental dance. And I'm so privileged because I think I was the only one who saw it. So he did not teach Oriental dance. He did not perform. He did not do it professionally. He was just doing bedlas for professional dancers like me in Cairo. That's it. But he was for sure one of the references that I have in terms of male Oriental dancers that really speaks of men being able to tackle that feminine polarity, that womb-like magic, and being able to bring it through their dance. He could really do it. Absolutely. Other male Oriental dancers come to life. Of course, I'm speaking about Mahmoud Reda, my big master, my biggest reference, the person that followed me for longer. So all the time I was performing in Cairo, in Egypt, not only in Cairo with my orchestra, I was also studying and working with Mahmoud Reda, the father of Egyptian folklore, the master of masters. And he was another example of an Oriental male dancer, although he did not like to be called that way because Mahmoud identified with Egyptian folklore, not with Egyptian Oriental dance. But for me, he's just a dancer, okay? A genius dancer, a genius choreographer and teacher. And he also had the sensibility of the feminine polarity. He also had this womb-like magical touch that revealed the beauty and the essence of Egyptian dance to his students and to his dancers, for sure. I was privileged to have studied and worked with him during all those years while I was performing in Egypt, and I was witnessing that feminine magic in a man on a daily basis at his studio where I was studying and working with him. So it's absolutely clear to me that some men, exceptional men, have this womb-like energy available and active in them. Most of the male Oriental dancers and teachers and choreographers working nowadays do not have it, and they have no idea what that even means. Now, does that mean that something is missing from their dance? I believe yes. But then again, this is just my opinion. It is not a fact. Okay, guys, so don't kill me. Don't kill me. It is just my opinion. I do believe that having nice physical skills, it's more like being an athlete. It's not so much as being an Oriental dancer. In order to represent Oriental dance, the magic of Egyptian dance, as I have met it, as I have fallen in love with it, you need to bring that magical energy, that magical touch of the womb, of the heart to your movement. And that is not accessible to everyone, not to every man and not to every woman. So let me make this clear. When I say that very few male Oriental dancers have that womb-like feminine energy of Egyptian dance, I have to add a lot of female Oriental dancers do not have it as well. All right? This is not about being a man or being a woman. A lot of women, myself included, are way more masculine. We have our masculine polarity way more active and booming than our feminine polarity. So it is only predictable and normal that most female dancers, as well as male dancers, do not have access to the magic of authentic Egyptian dance, that feminine spark, that womb-like magical thing. Many women don't have access to that as well. All right, although anatomically they have a womb, but the energy of that womb is not available. It's not active. It is not transpiring. It is not working with them, for the dance. So I don't want to make this men against women, although a lot of my fellow dancers like to do that war. I'm not a war person, and I am a peace person. So that means I don't see it like who's against whom and who is better than whom. I see individuals and I see the quality of the artist and the quality of the person in front of me. If you're a woman, great. If you're a man, great. If you're an alien, great. I don't care. For as long as you give me the authentic thing, for as long as I see talent and knowledge and skills and human quality in you, for me, you're perfect. Okay? So let's not make it a war between men and women. Then again, the womb-like magic is available to very few of us, in my observation, male and female dancers. Okay, so who are the best dancers? Male dancers, teachers, and choreographers in this field, men or women? Okay, I think that I have answered this question just a few seconds ago. Who are the best dancers? Male dancers, teachers, and choreographers, men or women? Are we talking about the percentage? You know, what is the highest percentage of high quality professionals in this field? Is it on the women's side or in the men's side? Of course, there are many more women in this field, right? In terms of percentage, you have more female teachers and female Oriental dancers and female choreographers than you have male choreographers and dancers and teachers. So it is an unfair comparison because there is so much more on the female side, right? I do believe that we have a couple of good male teachers. I mentioned two of my main influences in my life and my dance, Shokri Mohammed and Mahmoud Reda. They were men. Okay, so it would be ridiculous for me to tell you that women are better than men or men are better than women. In my path, in my trajectory as a dancer, I have caught these two great masters who happen to be men. I have also caught great masters who happen to be women, like Suher Zaki, like Nagwa Fuad, Mona Said, Aza Sharif. They were women. So I do not believe the conversation of comparison is interesting. As I've already mentioned, I don't think the right question is who is better, a male Oriental dancer or a female Oriental dancer. The right question is who are the most talented, skillful, knowledgeable, and humanly interesting creatures in this field? Who are the best professionals? I do not care if they're men or they're women. For me, it's the same. Deliver the goodies and I will love you. Don't deliver the goodies and I will pay no attention to you. This is it. I really don't care if you're a man or a woman. Now, in terms of percentage, we do have more women than men in this field. At the same time, we have a considerable amount of men in power positions, right? So although the universe of professional Oriental dance is dominated in numbers by women, the fact is some of the most profitable, let's put it this way, event organizers and some of the smartest business people in this field are men. So they are in charge of the field, not through numbers, not through quality, but because they have climbed the ladder way better than women. And this is something that happens in every field, not only in Egyptian dance. You will find way more talented women, way more prepared and knowledgeable women in every field. And you will find men having power positions over them in that field, although their qualifications and their skills and their talent may be inferior. So this is a question for a bigger discussion. It is something interesting. It is also a question mark for all of the women in this field. Why aren't women taking charge of the business side, of the power side of this field? Why there are so many more women, female Oriental dancers and teachers working beautifully and doing incredible things, and nonetheless we see power positions in the hands of men? There are also power positions in the hands of women, but if we compare it and if we check the percentages, there is an imbalance. So there is a huge number of powerful figures in terms of financial gain and in terms of marketing and in terms of organization that are male. And at the same time, we have a majority of professionals involved in this field who are female. So there is an imbalance. Why aren't women taking charge of their businesses? Why aren't women valuing themselves and taking risks and assuming power in their careers in a more visible, affirmative, assertive way, just like men do? So then again, I don't think this is a discussion between who is against whom or who's competing with whom. If we are smart, and I believe we are smart, we learn from everything and everyone. If I observe that in my field, there are more women than men doing the art, practicing the art beautifully, but there are more men than women in power positions, I have to ask myself, what is it that I'm not owning as a woman? What is it that women in my field are not doing in terms of assuming their power and leadership? Because it is not a question of lack of talent. It is not a question of lack of knowledge. I know a lot of female Oriental dancers who are the best, who would kick every man's ass. Sorry. I know them, and many of you know them. And nonetheless, they're not necessarily the ones with power of decision in this field. Why? So this is the interesting question. Then again, I think in the end of the day, the ones we should value and promote are the highest quality professionals, independently of their gender. Okay? Now, what else? Why are men running a woman's business? Okay, so this question is related to what I just mentioned. Why are men running a woman's business? First of all, Egyptian dance is not necessarily a woman's business. And okay, so this question is a little rigged. It's a little unfair and inaccurate, because Egyptian dance is not necessarily a woman's business. Okay, so in Egypt there is a large tradition of troops. The Awalem, the Khawazi, they were dominated by women, yes, but there have always been musicians and assistants and managers and impresarios. All the years I was working in Egypt, In fact, although I was the boss of my team, I was the one hiring and firing musicians, I was the one dealing with technicians and with dancers, I was the leader of my team, I was surrounded by men as well. I was not surrounded by women. Egyptian dance in Egypt is not necessarily a woman's business, it's everybody's business, men and women's business. So I don't believe that Egyptian dance is a woman's business. It is just the people's business, okay? And if you like it, and if you happen to be good at it, you assume a role in it. You may be a musician, you may be a dancer, you may be a teacher, a choreographer, a manager, an assistant, a technician. I don't know. It depends on what you do, what you're good at, and where you want to locate yourself in that puzzle. But I don't believe this business is a woman's business or a man's business. It's just the business of the ones who manage to do it right, or to manage, or the ones who manage to play the game. Okay, so why are men running a woman's business? It is not a woman's business. And why men are ruling it or running it, I've already mentioned it. I think that men in our business, first of all, they're so much more confident. They're more ruthless. The ones who do it usually don't have a private life of their own, so they're totally committed to their ambitions. I believe that female dancers are more human and they require time for their families, for their partners, for their private life, for their inner life. I have not met a lot of female Oriental dancers who were obsessed with ambition. There are a few. I have performed side by side with one of them in Cairo, by the way, many years, who only lived for her ambition, but it's rare. Usually female Oriental dancers are more well-rounded human beings. They take time off their work. They don't live and dream about their ambitions 24/7, and men do. So the men who are calling the shots in our business, I know them personally. I have worked with most of them, and they are men who are absolutely obsessed with their ambition and with their goals. They're like machines. They don't have much time for private life. Most of them are single, of course. They don't have much time for family life. If they have children, they don't have much time with their children, and they're totally okay with it. You will not find a lot of female dancers who live like that, okay? So the reason why men are running this business, not a woman's business, this business, I believe it's because they're so much more confident in themselves. They take more risks. They go for the power positions. They are much more ambitious. They live obsessed with their ambitions. They don't take time for private life and another dimensions of their existence. And they are ruthless in the way they make business. They make a lot of enemies. They make a lot of convenient friends. And they are absolutely machines. They're absolute machines in the pursuit of power. Do I like this? I don't. It's not my thing. I'm a human being. I like to live my life. I am ambitious, but I don't put my ambition above everything else and everyone else. A lot of men do, and they live only for it. And very often they're supported by their female counterparts, if they have a female counterpart, but they're kind of disappearing in the background. Okay, on all sorts of levels. So this is the main reason or reasons why men are running this business and every other business, all right? Women take time to have children. Women take time for their family. Women usually take time for their partners, for their family, for their personal life. Women don't necessarily put their ambitions above everything else and everyone else, and they are way more multidimensional. They don't live and breathe for one single goal and ambition, and they're not so ruthless and so confident in their skills. You know, there is a study that indicates that the self-confidence of incompetent men is superior to the self-confidence of competent women. Do you want me to repeat this? The self-confidence of incompetent men is higher than the self-confidence of competent women, meaning you will have a man and a woman, generally speaking, the woman is more skilled, more experienced, more capable, and the man may be less skilled, less experienced, less capable, but the level of confidence of the man will invariably be superior to the level of confidence of the woman. It's a study. You didn't hear it from me. So this is true in Egyptian dance. It is true in every field. Okay. Then again, there is a message here for women, right? I don't think that we should become machines like so many of the male dancers I know. I don't want to become a machine, and I don't want to be ruthless and step on everybody in order to get what I want. That's not the kind of human being I want to be. Okay. And I don't want to live a life of pursuing one ambition and having all other areas of my life destroyed. I don't want that. I really don't want that. But I do think there is a side of this picture that we could all learn from, which is why are we less confident in ourselves, we women? Why we are so prepared and we're talented and we're able, but we don't believe that we're ready. We don't believe that we're capable. Why this chronic insecurity that seems to put us behind man eternally? Why? So for every single question that I have shared so far, there is a reflection here for women, right? Why am I not confident in my skills, in my talent, in my mission, in my vision? Why? Why does a man who is less talented than me, less prepared than me, less educated than me, is more confident and more able to put a project out there and to assume a role of leadership? I am the man, I am the authority, and I am more capable of delivering high quality content to my community, to my clients, to my audiences, to my students, but I don't believe in it. I don't believe I can do it. I don't believe I'm good enough. Why? This is the big question. Okay, then again, we're here to learn from everybody. Guys, this is not a men's against women thing, okay? That's not my cup of tea. Yes. Hi, Stuno. Hi, Morag. Good morning, guys. Hello. Mango says, good morning, lovely, good morning, my beautiful. This is about men in Oriental dance, but also about that womb-like magic. Could you please say a female dancer of today that you think also has it? Okay, let me think about it for sure. Let me think about it. A female Oriental dancer that also has it. That, okay, yes, yes. I know of a female Oriental dancer who also has it. Yes, absolutely. And then I'm going to keep it to the end. Okay, let's see if I don't forget. I'm going to tell you of a female Oriental dancer that has that womb-like magic for sure. Oh yeah, big time. At the end. Okay. Okay. What do you think of male Egyptian teachers imposing themselves on students by playing the I'm Egyptian card? This was a question I was sent via email this week, okay? But this is a question I am asked many times, not necessarily in these words, in other words, but this is very, very common, okay? Let me repeat this, and this is fire, okay? What do you think of male Egyptian teachers imposing themselves on students by playing the I'm Egyptian card? Okay, so first of all, I don't think anybody imposes on anybody. We are free. Everybody's free. Sometimes I have students who have been with me for years and suddenly they disappear. Okay? I ask them, how are you? Okay, I'm fine. I started studying with so-and-so. I say, good, enjoy. Have a blast. Invariably, they come back to me. And I ask them, why are you coming back after leaving my classes or leaving my school? Because it's not usual for me. I was very faithful and very loyal to my teachers, and I understood very early on that in order to have a coherent and strong learning process, I could not jump from teacher to teacher. I couldn't. The first person who told me this was Shokri Mohammed. He warned me, please don't jump from teacher to teacher. This will be chaos because every teacher will have a different line, a different way of teaching. Every teacher will bring you into different directions and different energy. So although we like variety, I like variety. It is not a good idea to jump from teachers to teachers. So whenever my students, after many years of studying with me, they leave and they say, okay, I'm going to try something out. Let's see if that is better than Joana. I already know, because I'm confident in myself, they will come back. And they will come back with stories, and they will come back with reasons why they left and why they came back. I always like to hear about it, right? And most times they tell me, yeah, because they played the I'm Egyptian card, because they're Egyptians and you are not Egyptian. And I thought because they're Egyptian, they will be better than you, but they're not. So I'm coming back to you. So the I'm Egyptian card is a card that male and female Oriental dancers use. This is not only a card that men use. Okay, this is a card female and male Oriental dancers use. So then again, this is not men versus women. This is about some of the professionals or amateurs in our field telling you, I'm the best in Egyptian dance because I'm Egyptian. It is a little like hearing an Egyptian telling you, because I'm Egyptian, I'm a drummer. I'm excellent with the tabla. You say, are you sure? Yeah, because I'm Egyptian. Anyone who is remotely educated in music knows that in order to play tabla, darbuka, you need to learn it. It's not a question of being Egyptian. And you also need to be talented at it. There are a lot of Egyptians who cannot play the darbuka. I would say most Egyptians, very few Egyptians can play the darbuka. Okay? Of course, they can play it in a basic way, just like I can play it. If I have my darbuka with me, I will show you a few rhythms. Dum, taku, taku, dum, es. I will show you, but it doesn't make me a drummer. You know? So the same way you will hear Egyptians telling you, I'm a drummer, I can play tabla or darbuka because I'm Egyptian, and you go like, really? What? The same way you're going to hear male and female dancers telling you, because I'm Egyptian, I know it. They're foreigners, they don't know it. So the I'm Egyptian card is used by male and female dancers. In my opinion, it is what I call a smart ass card. Because then again, just because you're Egyptian, it doesn't make you a dancer. It doesn't make you a knowledgeable, talented dancer or teacher or choreographer. And also because it implies that teachers and dancers who are not born in Egypt can never do it right. And this is absolutely ridiculous. So I started traveling to Egypt when I was very young. My first travel to Egypt, I was 18 or 17, something like that. And I spent a good part of my adult life living and performing in Egypt. I have dug into the culture in a way that I have not dug into my own culture. Okay, I'm Portuguese for the ones who don't know. And I know Egypt better than I know my own country, Portugal. I've traveled extensively, aside from having performed for almost a decade in the best spots of the country with the best musicians I've ever heard for Egyptians. Speaking Arabic, living the culture, living in the energy of the country and recognizing it within me. So playing the I'm Egyptian card is, for me, a smart ass, cheap, easy marketing tool that will eventually fall when students and clients see that just because you're Egyptian, it doesn't mean you're a great dancer or a great teacher or a great choreographer. And then people come back. Welcome. Ahlan wa sahlan. Ya habaib. Ahlan wa sahlan. Hi. So what do I think about male teachers imposing themselves? Then again, students and clients and audiences are free to go wherever they like. Nobody imposes anything on anyone. So also students and audience members have to be more educated and more aware and use their common sense. Just because someone is Egyptian, it doesn't mean they're good at Egyptian dance. Just because they're Egyptian, it doesn't mean they know how to play the tabla or the anun or the ney. Okay? All of those things require talents and skills and learning processes that most Egyptians will never go through. So watch out for the professionals that you choose and watch out for the criteria of choice. Okay. Then again, this is something that happens in female Oriental dancers and in male Oriental dancers. I am Egyptian, therefore I know it. I know it better. Okay. So watch out for it. Last question I have prepared for you. Should men do Egyptian dance? Okay. I've observed women's groups and discussions of Oriental dancers, female Oriental dancers, with a lot of hate speech against men in this field. I do not have that mentality and I do not have that speech because then again, two of my greatest masters were men. I have met a lot of talented, interesting, kind male Oriental dancers along the way throughout the world, because when I left Egypt, I started traveling the world to teach and to perform. So I met a lot of people in my work, a lot of male Oriental dancers, some of them excellent, some of them terrible, just like women, okay? Just like women. And I think this question is of extreme arrogance, to be blunt. Should men do Egyptian dance? I mean, who are we to decide who should do Oriental dance? I think Egyptian Oriental dance is for everybody. If you want to do it, do it. You know, if you want to dance it, dance it. Just don't use your gender or your nationality as a power card. That's what I think. Okay, just because you're a man, it doesn't make you a better Oriental dancer or a better teacher or a better choreographer. Just because you're Egyptian, it doesn't mean you know Egyptian dance in depth. That card is irritating, it's annoying, and it's dishonest. But this is a dance for everyone, right? For children, for old people, for men, for women. It is for everybody. So please stop creating wars where there are none. Okay? Stop creating wars where there are none. Egyptian dance is democratic. Egyptian dance is an art form that I consider an universal art form. It is for the ones who want to do it and for the ones who can do it. May that be a man or a woman, all right? So we shouldn't be able to tell who is suitable for it or not. I think everybody's suitable for it, and everybody is free to do it as they please. Okay, so this is the last question I have selected for you guys. Let me just see if you shared some other question in relation to this subject. Yes. Okay, we're good here. So one more last note before I answer Mango's question on a female Oriental dancer who has that womb magic. Okay. There is another aspect of male Oriental dancers that I would like to pinpoint. Sometimes female dancers refer to male dancers who copy women, who mimic women, who are exaggerated in their feminine histrionic movements, as if that was wrong. Then again, guys, this is a dance of freedom. Yes, there are rules. Yes, there are codes. Yes, there is a cultural context. Yes, there is a history. There is a lot of information that you should probably know about before you claim to be a professional Oriental dancer, for sure. And this is true for men and for women. But in reality, how people move, if they're more feminine, if they're more masculine, it's up to them. You know, this is a little bit like the conversation on heterosexuality and homosexuality. When you hear someone telling someone, no, he's gay, wah. First of all, that's a prejudice. Second of all, that's ignorance. Third of all, that's none of your business. The way people live their private life, their sexual preferences, is none of your business. It's people's lives. Who the hell are you to decide with whom your neighbor is gonna sleep with? Who the hell are you? Why do people feel they have the power to decide about the private choices of individuals. They don't, you don't. So the same way, sometimes I hear this conversation in Egyptian dance of, yeah, but male Oriental dancers, they mimic women, they copy women, it's phony, it's exaggerated, it's whatever. Who cares, right? Let people be. If you want to enjoy the freedom and the well-being and the peace and the beauty this dance provides in your own experience, offer that to other people. Stop criticizing so much, stop judging so much, stop pointing fingers, and mind your own business, mind your own dance. Focus on your growth as a dancer, as a person. Enjoy your dance practice. Enjoy the benefits of Egyptian dance. Support others on their path, even if they don't look like you, even if they don't dance like you, even if they're mimicking women. So what? So what? What is the problem? Do you have a problem with that? I don't have a problem with that. You know, whatever. If you don't like, ignore it. But let people be, okay? So in this conversation of men and women in Egyptian dance, I think there is two things. There are two things that I find particularly important. One is to be more tolerant, kind, and respectful of everybody, okay? Respect men as you respect yourself, as you respect other women. Let people be who they are, for God's sake. This is the first thing. More tolerance, more kindness. More kindness, please. A little bit more civilization in your mind and your heart. Let men be whatever they want to be. Let men, women, aliens be whatever they want to be, and be whoever you want to be. You know, because usually the dancers who criticize men for mimicking women are also dancers who criticize women for mimicking whatever, and are also dancers who criticize themselves and who hate on themselves and who are not enjoying their dance journeys. Criticize less and do more and enjoy more and dance more, okay? The second thing I think we should take from this conversation is what I mentioned, this question directed at women in particular. Why are we not taking charge of more power positions in this field? And this is not a conversation about men. This is a conversation about women. Men are doing their thing. They're going after their gold. They're doing their thing. You cannot stop them. Nobody can stop anybody. Those men that I know personally and professionally that are living obsessed with power, I know who they are. Some of them are my connections, my friends. I have worked with them. I know who they are. I'm not going to mention names, obviously, but I know who they are. They're very well known. They live obsessed with power. Do I want that for me? I don't. You probably don't either. But they bring the question. If they're not as talented, if they're not as skilled, if they're not as good in this craft as so many women are, why aren't those women taking charge of power positions? And why are those men doing it instead? It is not against men. It is pro-women. And it is about taking responsibility for our own disempowerment. A lot of women, myself included, play with imposter syndrome. I'm not good enough. I'm not ready enough. I'm not strong enough. I'm not capable. I cannot do it. I wouldn't be able to handle it. This has nothing to do with men. It has to do with us. Men in our field and men in power positions in our field are just mirroring back what we have to work on ourselves. So maybe instead of criticizing the men who are in power positions, probably men who are not that talented, not that good, and many of them aren't, maybe I have to look at myself and ask, what is it in my power that I'm not owning? What are the risks that I'm not taking? Where is the imposter syndrome in me that tells me all the time, you're not ready? You wouldn't be able to handle it. You're not good enough. This is your problem. This is my problem. This is all women's problem. So we can learn from each other, guys. We can learn from people we like, we can learn from people we don't like, we can learn from injustice, we can learn from inequality, we can learn from things that are not working. And it all goes down to, where is the lesson there for me? Where is the lesson there for me? What do I have to do in order to step into my power, as opposed to feeling disempowered and attacking others, male or female dancers? Okay? Yes, you got the message? I think you did. So let me answer Mango's question. Let me read it again. Hi, Nuraya. Hello, honey. Nuraya says, so true, respect. Yeah, it is true, guys. I'm sorry because sometimes I give you some smacking, but it is true. And if you listen to me and if you get triggered, you get annoyed, listen to me again, okay? Rewind and listen to it and wonder, is she right? Maybe she's right. Okay, I don't know. You don't have to agree with me, but at least consider what I'm saying and think about it, okay? So Mango says, this is about men in Oriental dance, but also about that womb-like magic. Could you please say a female dancer of today that you think also has it? So I do not think a lot of Oriental dancers, female Oriental dancers, have that womb-like feminine magic. We don't. Because then again, we have lost a lot of our feminine polarity. For so many reasons, Egyptian dancers, foreign dancers, have been forced to become more masculine, more competitive, more structured, more logic, more disconnected from feeling, more disconnected from the soul, more focused on movements and tricks and technical expertise, and way less focused on the emotional, spiritual experience this dance can provide. So this is a collective thing. It is not specific of some specific dances. I think that generally speaking, female dancers of my generation and younger generations, they have lost that womb-like magic. I don't find a lot of dances with that. Okay, so the last dancer that I saw with that womb-like magic is an Egyptian dancer, by the way. I'm not sure if she's performing still. Maybe she's still performing, not sure. Her name is Lucy. She used to perform at a nightclub called Le Parisien in the famous Haram Street, Pyramid Street, the Pyramid Street that leads to the pyramids of Giza, the Giza pyramids, that touristic site, that pharaonic, iconic site. And she was the last Oriental dancer that I saw, the last female Oriental dancer that I saw bringing that womb-like, lunar, magical, soulful vibe to the table. I call her the last Egyptian Oriental dancer for a reason. I know this is a little bit drastic, and a lot of my Egyptian colleagues don't like me to say this, obviously, but this is my opinion, okay? I have worked side by side with the Egyptian dancers that you know nowadays, sometimes literally side by side or metaphorically side by side while I was performing in Egypt. So I have watched them dance, I have watched them teach, I have watched them in action. It's not like I've never had contact with this generation. I have worked side by side in this generation, and I have learned from past generations. And the last female Oriental dancer that gave me the goosebumps, the last female Oriental dancer that made me remember what Egyptian Oriental dance is all about and made my heart bloom, was Lucy. Yes, so if somebody knows if Lucy is still performing in Cairo, please let me know. I'm not sure if she's still active or not. Okay. Mango says, "Oh, I love Lucy. Yeah, she's very, very special." Uh, Mango says, "So there is no woman performing today that has it." No, I'm not saying there is no woman performing today that has it. I'm just giving you my opinion, okay? And I have not seen every Oriental dancer in the world, okay? I have traveled the world in big festivals, big events, supposedly where you will find the best Oriental dancers, but I have not seen everybody. Okay, so maybe there are a lot of female Oriental dancers with that elusive quality. It is hard to describe into words. That womb-like quality, that that feminine juice. Okay, maybe there are, but I have not seen them. I have seen some incredible Oriental dancers, technically, musically, some in terms of interpretation also very good. I always mention Orit from Israel. Orit is one of my favorite professionals in this area. She's for me one of the best in every aspect, the best teacher, choreographer, dancer, organizer, also an incredible person, which is not so common, these days in this field. But generally speaking, although these female dancers are very prepared technically and musically, and even in interpretational skills in terms of their ability to interpret a musical piece, I don't find in them that magic of the womb, that magic of the feminine polarity, fully activated, fully active in them, in their bodies, in their systems, in their energy, in their dance, in their life. I don't find that. It is a collective thing. It is not a problem of a specific dancer. It is a generic issue. One of the things that I work with in my work, may that be in Joana Saahirah's online dance school or in my private coaching, is precisely the activation of the feminine polarity or the feminine principle, because most of us desperately need it. We have become totally masculine. We have become the daughters of Zeus. We have become the daughters of Athena. Okay. What is Athena? What is Athena? This is a Greek goddess who was born out of the forehead of Zeus, her father. So I believe that our generation was born out of the forehead of our father, just like Athena was born out of the forehead of Zeus. Okay? That means too much thinking, too much rationality, too much competition, too much structure, too much logic, too much ambition, too much action, too much giving out, too much doing, too much of everything that composes the masculine polarity, also necessary, but too little of the feminine polarity. We have lost touch with stillness. We have lost touch with the womb, with the heart. I usually tell my students there are two hearts in Egyptian dance. One is in the womb and one is in the chest, right? We usually associate the heart here in the chest area, anatomically speaking, that's where it is. But there is another heart in the womb, a darker, deeper, more instinctive, more primal heart. Very few women are aware of this, and very few women use the two hearts. Very few women know how to slow down, how to pause, how to feel, how to dive into emotion. Very few women, very few female Oriental dancers know when to move, how to move. We suffer from the disease of overdoing, over struggling, over delivering. There's too much action, too much movement, but meaningless, empty, no life, no message, no story, no heart, no soul. This is a collective problem. It is not a problem from a specific Oriental dancer. So although there are a lot of female Oriental dancers who are technically beautiful and technically ready. I mentioned Orit. She's one of the best, according to my taste, of course. But the truth is, in terms of the magic of the womb, in terms of the feminine polarity, the last one I saw was Lucy. Sorry, guys. I do not want to make you angry at me, but I am being honest as usual, okay? So let's see what you got for me and let's close this session. If you have your last questions, catch me while I'm here live. Mango says it's a problem of the times, not of any person in particular. Yes, absolutely. That's exactly my point. So the lack of contact with our feminine polarity is a collective movement. It is a collective limitation. And I believe that the correct practice of Egyptian dance will allow you to rescue and to reactivate that feminine polarity if the teacher guiding you has already done the work on herself or on himself. Because then again, remember, this is not about gender. This is about having the talent, the knowledge, the awareness, and the hearts to do it by the book. In Egyptian, we say mazbut. Meya meya, yani 100% by the book. Okay? I hope you have enjoyed this session. Perhaps it was not what you expected. I received a lot of questions via email that were, I'd say, launching this session into conflicts and creating a war between men and women. Of course, if you know me a little bit, you know I will not fall for that, because this is not what I stand for. So independently of how many people create conflicts and wars and gossips and leave of it, my world and my mission is to share authentic Egyptian dance, personal discovery, and empowerment. And that can only be possible if, instead of fighting each other and creating wars between men and women, we actually support each other and we start motivating and recognizing and supporting the ones who are carrying the flag of good, high quality Egyptian dance throughout the world. May that be a man or a woman, okay? So value the ones who have value, value the ones who have the talent, the knowledge, the wisdom, the kindness, the art, the vision, instead of valuing men or women, okay? It is not about gender, it is about quality, the quality that you deliver to the world, all right? So focus on the goodies, focus on the gold. Yeah, I will see you soon, guys. Once more, I'm going to invite you to join our newsletter, Joana Saahirah's World newsletter. If you want to be the first to receive our news, gifts, and exclusive inspirations, you will find the link to do so either in the comments to the replay of this session, if you're watching it in my Facebook account, or in the description box below this video if you're gonna watch the replay of this session in my YouTube channel, okay? Either way, you're welcome to join our newsletter, and when you do, you get instant access to our free learning page and a free ebook called Welcome to Egyptian Dance Wonderland. Oh, I want to see you there. I'll see you soon, guys. Until then, all my love and my warmest, most loving kiss. Mwah.